Good morning, children. How are you? Fine? Yes, I am also fine. So, again, I am here, Mrs. Sujata Prakash, your math teacher.
Our today's topic is properties of rational numbers. Let me start. What are the major properties of rational numbers? The major properties of rational numbers are closure property, commutative property, associative property, and distributive property.
Let us start with our first property, that is closure property. Here we are verifying if closure property is closed under addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of rational numbers. So first we can take addition of rational numbers. The closure property states that for any two rational numbers a and b, a plus b is also a rational number. Means the sum of any two rational numbers is always a rational number. This is called closure property of addition of rational numbers. If A upon B and C upon D are any two rational numbers, then A upon B plus C upon D is also a rational number. Let me take one example here. That is 1 upon 2 plus 3 upon 4. That is equal to 2 plus 3 upon 4. 4 is the LCM here. So what result we are getting? 5 upon 4. So the result is a rational number? Yes. Why? Because 5 upon 4 is in the form of P upon Q and Q is not equal to 0. So we can say that rational numbers are closed under addition. Next step, closure property under subtraction. The closure property states that for any two rational numbers a and b, a minus b is also a rational number. Means the difference between any two rational numbers is always a rational number. This is called closure property of subtraction of rational numbers. If A upon B and C upon D are any two rational numbers, then A upon B minus C upon D is also a rational number. So let me take here one example. Same way, 1 upon 2 minus 3 upon 4 is equal to 2 minus 3 upon 4. So the result is minus 1 upon 4. Minus 1 upon 4 is also a rational number, isn't it? Yes, because that is also in the form of P upon Q and Q is not equal to 0. So the rational numbers are closed under subtraction. Next, closure property under multiplication. The closure property states that for any two rational numbers a and b, a into b is also a rational number. Means the product of any two rational numbers is always a rational number. If a upon b and c upon d are any two rational numbers, then a upon b into c upon d is also a rational number. See the example. Here 1 by 2 into 3 by 4 is equal to 1 into 3 upon 2 into 4 is equal to 3 by 8. So here we can see that 3 by 8, that means the product is a rational number. So the result is a rational number? Yes. So the rational numbers are closed under multiplication. Next is closure property under division. The closure property states that for any two rational numbers a and b, a divided by b is also a rational number. Means The collection of non-zero rational numbers is closed under division if A upon B and C upon D are two rational numbers such that C upon D is not equal to 0. Then A upon B divided by C upon D is always a rational number. See the example. 1 upon 2 divided by 3 upon 4 is equal to 1 into 4 upon 2 into 3. That is equal to 4 by 6 in lowest form 2 by 3. So here we are getting the answer 2 by 3. That is the result. That is also a rational number. The result is a rational number, but we know that any rational number a divided by 0 is not defined. So rational numbers are not closed under division, but if we exclude 0, then all the rational numbers are closed under division. Now we are starting our second property, that is commutative property. Here also we are verifying that if it is commutative under addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of rational numbers. So first we can see addition of rational numbers. For any two rational numbers a and b, a plus b is equal to b plus a. Means addition of two rational numbers is commutative. If a upon b and c upon d are any two rational numbers, then a upon b plus c upon d is equal to c upon d plus a upon b. See the example. Minus 2 upon 3 plus 5 upon 7 and 5 upon 7 plus minus 2 upon 3. We can see that if we are adding both the sides, the sum is same. So minus 2 upon 3 plus 5 upon 7 is equal to 1 upon 21. The same way 5 upon 7 plus minus 2 upon 3 also 1 upon 21. So we can say that both the sides means LHS and RHS are equal. So we can see that the two rational numbers can be added in any order. So addition is commutative for rational numbers. Next is commutative properties under subtraction. For any two rational numbers a and b, a minus b is not equal to b minus a. Means subtraction of two rational numbers are not commutative. If a upon b and c upon d are two rational numbers, then a upon b minus c upon d is not equal to c upon d minus a upon b. See the example. 5 upon 3 minus 1 upon 4 is equal to 17 upon 12. At the same time, 1 upon 4 minus 5 upon 3 is minus 17 upon 12. So we can see that LHS side and RHS sides are not equal. So subtraction is not commutative for rational numbers. Next is commutative properties under multiplication. For any two rational numbers a and b, a into b is equal to b into a. Means multiplication of two rational numbers are commutative. If a upon b and c upon d are two rational numbers, then a upon b into c upon d is equal to c upon d into a upon b. See the example. 5 upon 3 into 1 upon 4 is equal to 1 upon 4 into 5 upon 3. In LHS side, the product is 5 upon 12. The same way in RHS side also, the product is 5 upon 12. We see that the two rational numbers can be multiplied in any order. So, multiplication is commutative for rational numbers. Next is commutative properties under division. For any two rational numbers a and b, a divided by b is not equal to b divided by a. Means division of two rational numbers is not commutative. If a upon b and c upon d are two rational numbers, then a upon b divided by c upon d is not equal to c upon d divided by a upon b. Example, 5 upon 3 divided by 1 upon 4 is equal to 20 upon 3. Then 1 upon 4 divided by 5 upon 3 is equal to 3 upon 20. So we see that the expressions on both the sides are not equal. So division is not commutative for rational numbers. Now we are moving to our third property, that is associative property. In associative property also, we can see that it is only applicable in addition and multiplication, like as commutative property, not in subtraction and division. See how it is working. Take any three rational numbers a, b and c. Firstly, add a and b and then add c to the sum. Means a plus b together, then plus c. Now again add b and c and then add a to the sum. Means a plus b plus c. Is a plus b plus c and a plus b plus c are same? Yes. And this is how associative property works. It states that you can add or multiply numbers regardless of how they are grouped. For example, the given numbers are 5 minus 6 and 2 by 3. In first side, means in LHS side, first we can add together 5 and minus 6. Then after that 2 by 3 we can add with the sum. Then we are getting the answer minus 1 upon 3. The same way right hand side, means in RHS side also, first we are adding minus 6 plus 2 upon 3 together, then 5 with the answer. There also we are getting minus 1 upon 3 is the answer. Means we can see that LHS is equal to RHS. In both the groups, the sum is the same. So addition and multiplications are associative for rational numbers. Subtraction and division are not associative for rational numbers. Next property is distributive property. Distributive property is applicable multiplication over addition and multiplication over subtraction. See how. Distributive property states that for any three numbers x, y and z, we have for addition x into y plus z is equal to x into y plus x into z. Same way for subtraction, x into y minus z is equal to x into y minus x into z. Our next topic is identities of rational numbers. So here we are having two identities. What are they? Additive identity and multiplicative identity. What is an additive identity? 0 is the additive identity for rational numbers. The additive inverse of a rational number p upon q is minus p upon q, and the additive inverse of minus p upon q is p upon q. Means a positive rational number and its additive inverse is minus a negative rational number, and a negative rational number, its additive inverse is a positive rational number. If you are taking an example, see minus 3 by 5. The additive inverse of minus 3 by 5 is 3 by 5. The same way 1 by 2. The additive inverse of 1 by 2 is minus 1 by 2. Now, next identity is multiplicative identity. What is multiplicative identity? 1 is the multiplicative identity for rational numbers. If P upon Q into A upon B is equal to 1, then A upon B is the reciprocal or multiplicative inverse of P upon Q and vice versa. For example, 1 upon 2 into 2 upon 1, that is equal to 1. So 1 upon 2 is the reciprocal of 2 upon 1. Yeah, 2 upon 1 is the multiplicative inverse of 1 upon 2. Now we can start our exercise. So, exercise 1.1, question number 1. Using appropriate properties, find question number 1 minus 2 by 3 into 3 by 5 plus 5 by 2 minus 3 by 5 into 1 by 6. In this question, we have to use suitable identities, isn't it? So first we can see, in first case, we can use commutative property. How? We are taking 3 by 5 first. So now see what number is coming there. Now it is 3 by 5 into minus 2 by 3 plus 5 by 2 minus 3 by 5 into 1 by 6. Now next, we can regroup the numbers. How? Take a 5 by 2 last. So there we are using associative property. See, here two groups we will get 3 by 5 into minus 2 by 3, then minus 3 by 5 into 1 upon 6, and lastly plus 5 by 2. So from this we can see 3 by 5 is common for both, isn't it? So now take 3 by 5 as a common. Means here we are using distributive property. So next step it is 3 by 5 into minus 2 by 3 minus 1 by 6 inside the bracket plus 5 by 2. Now here solve the bracket whatever is given inside. So there 3 and 6 are the denominators. So there we have to take LCM, that is 6. So numerator minus 2 into 2 means minus 4, then minus 1 upon 6. So next step we are getting 3 upon 5 into minus 5 upon 6 plus 5 upon 2. Then the answer 3 upon 5 into minus 5 upon 6 is minus 1 upon 2 plus 5 upon 2. So here denominators are same. So you can add the numerators. So minus 1 plus 5 is equal to 4 upon 2. So the answer is 2. In this question, we have used three properties that are commutative, associative, and distributive properties. Now we can solve second question of question number 1. See the question. 2 upon 5 into minus 3 upon 7 minus 1 upon 6 into 3 upon 2 plus 1 upon 14 into 2 upon 5. In this question also we have to use suitable properties, isn't it? So first see how can we do. First we can put the numbers in an order. So for that, here first we can see 2 upon 5 is there. Then in last 1 upon 14 into 2 upon 5 is there. So that 2 upon 5 we are taking first. So their next step it is coming by using commutative property. We can write the numbers like this. 2 upon 5 into minus 3 upon 7 minus 1 upon 6 into 3 by 2 plus 2 by 5 into 1 upon 14. Now, next, what property we can use? See, we can use here, we can regroup the numbers, isn't it? Here 2 by 5 into minus 3 by 7 is there. Then last again, what we are getting 2 by 5 into 1 upon 14 is there. That both the sets we can take it together. So that by using associative property, we are regrouping the numbers like this. So next step you see 2 upon 5 into minus 3 upon 7 plus 2 upon 5 into 1 upon 14. Then last minus 1 upon 6 into 3 upon 2. So in this step, we can see that 2 upon 5 is common for both, isn't it? 2 upon 5 is multiplying with a minus 3 upon 7 also, and 2 upon 5 is multiplying with a 1 upon 14 also. So from these two, we can take 2 upon 5 as common, means using distributive property. So next step is 2 upon 5 into minus 3 upon 7 plus 1 upon 14 is putting inside the bracket. Then last minus 1 upon 6 into 3 upon 2. So by solving minus 3 by 7 and 1 upon 14, we will get minus 6 plus 1 upon 14. Means here 14 is the LCM. So minus 3 is multiplying by 2. By solving that, we are getting the answer minus 5 upon 14. So next step, what we are getting? 2 by 5 into minus 5 by 14 minus 1 by 6 into 3 by 2. Now we can multiply both the sides. Here 2 by 5 into minus 5 by 14, that is minus 1 by 7. The same way 1 by 6 into 3 by 2, that is equal to 1 upon 4. So now last we have to solve minus 1 by 7 minus 1 upon 4. So here we are getting minus 4 minus 7 upon 28. 28 is the LCM. So cross multiply the numerators. So minus 7 or minus 4, sum of minus 7 and minus 4 is minus 11. So the answer is minus 11 upon 28. Now let's move to the second question. What is the second question? Question number 2. Write the additive inverse of the following. What is additive inverse? Inverse means opposite, isn't it? So positive, if the number is positive, then inverse is negative, like as negative. Inverse positive. See, first question, 2 upon 8. Here 2 and 8, both numerator and denominators are positive. So it's a positive rational number. Then what should be the inverse? The inverse is negative, isn't it? So what is the answer? Additive inverse of 2 upon 8 is minus 2 upon 8. Okay. Now see the second question. Minus 5 upon 9. Here one is a positive and another is a negative, isn't it? Numerator is given negative and denominator is given positive. So it's a negative rational number. So what should be the answer here? What should be the inverse? Say positive, isn't it? So additive inverse of minus 5 upon 9 is 5 upon 9. Clear? Now total 5 questions are there. 2 questions I already solved. Now remaining 3 questions are given as homework. Questions are already written down.
Next, question number 3. The third question is, verify that minus of minus x is equal to x. So the first question is given, x is equal to 11 upon 15. Here we have to verify. Verify means we have to prove that LHS side is equal to RHS. Isn't it? So here LHS side, what it is given LHS? Minus of minus x. Means minus of minus means plus. What is x? X is given as 11 upon 15. So put the value there. So minus of minus 11 upon 15, that is equal to plus 11 upon 15. Isn't it? Minus minus plus. So the answer we are getting 11 upon 15. That is our x. Means LHS is equal to RHS proved. The same way, question number 2, you have to solve yourself. Here the value of x is given minus 13 upon 17. Next, question number 4. Question number 4 is, find the multiplicative inverse of the following. Multiplicative inverse means reciprocal, isn't it? So here first question, minus 13. What is the reciprocal of minus 13? Minus 13 means minus 13 upon 1. So Reciprocal means the numerator will change as denominator and the denominator will change as numerator. So here denominator is 1, so that will change as numerator. So the multiplicative inverse of minus 13 is minus 1 upon 13. Negative sign we are always giving to the numerator. The same way, second question. That is given minus 13 upon 19. So here numerator is 13 and denominator is 19. Then what is the reciprocal? 19 will come as a numerator and 13 is a denominator. So the multiplicative inverse is minus 19 upon 13. Now see the third question. Minus 5 upon 8 into minus 3 upon 7. So first we have to solve minus 5 into minus 3. That is minus minus plus 15. And 8 into 7. That is 56. Now change the reciprocal. So the multiplicative inverse of minus 5 upon 8 into minus 3 upon 7 is 56 upon 15. Clear? Now the remaining question 4, 5 and 6 do as homework. Now question number 8 is 8 upon 9 the multiplicative inverse of minus 1 by 8. Why or why not? Is it correct? Let's see. Minus 1 by 8 is a mixed fraction, isn't it? First we can change it into, convert it into improper fraction. So 1 into 8, 8 plus 1 is equal to 9. Means minus 9 upon 8. Now, if you are multiplying the reciprocal of the given number, then the product should be 1. Then we can say that it is the multiplicative inverse, isn't it? Let's see. Here 8 upon 9 into minus 9 upon 8 is equal to minus 1 is the answer, not 1. So that is why no. 8 upon 9 is not the multiplicative inverse of minus 1 upon 8. Means minus 9 upon 8. Because the product of 8 upon 9 and minus 1 upon 8 is not 1. Now, question number 6. Multiply 6 upon 13 by the reciprocal of minus 7 upon 16. Here, first we can take the reciprocal of minus 7 upon 16. What is the reciprocal of minus 7 upon 16? Is minus 16 upon 7. So, therefore, 6 upon 13 into minus 16 upon 7. 6 into minus 16 divided by 13 into 7. So the answer is minus 96 upon 91. Next, question number 7. Tell what property allows you to compute 1 upon 3 into, in the bracket, 6 into 4 by 3 as, in the bracket, 1 by 3 into 6, close the bracket, outside into 4 by 3. Now see, here if it is 3 rational numbers, if A, B and C, then how to write the property? See, A into B into C is equal to A into B into C, means regrouping. So, associative property is used here. Now, question number 8 is 8 upon 9 the multiplicative inverse of minus 1 by 8. Why or why not? Is it correct? Let's see. Minus 1 by 8 is a mixed fraction, isn't it? First we can change it into, convert it into improper fraction. So 1 into 8, 8 plus 1 is equal to 9. Means minus 9 upon 8. Now, if you are multiplying the reciprocal of the given number, then the product should be 1. Then we can say that it is the multiplicative inverse, isn't it? Let's see. Here, 8 upon 9 into minus 9 upon 8 is equal to minus 1 is the answer, not 1. So that is why no. 8 upon 9 is not the multiplicative inverse of minus 1 upon 8, means minus 9 upon 8, because the product of 8 upon 9 and minus 1 upon 8 is not 1. Now question number 9. Is 0.3 the multiplicative inverse of 3 1 upon 3? Why or why not? First, we can convert the decimal number into fraction. That is 0.3. After decimal only one digit is there. So 3 upon 10. Now change the mixed fraction of 3 1 by 3 into improper fraction. So 3 3 are 9 plus 1 10, means 10 upon 3. So yes, 0.3 is the multiplicative inverse of 10 upon 3, because 3 upon 10 into 10 upon 3 is equal to 1. Now remaining question number 10 and 11 do as homework. Okay. Here I am given the answers of revision questions that I have already asked in last session. Check the answers. Okay. Thank you.